The real prize at WrestleMania 41 isn't a title, it's Paul Heyman. This WrestleMania main event has Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk on the marquee. But if you've been paying attention, you'll know that the real prize, the true symbol of power, legacy, and future dominance at WWE isn't a championship. It's Paul Heyman. And that's not even an exaggeration. Let's rewind a little. Since 2020, Paul Heyman has essentially been the brains behind the tribal chief. Roman Reigns' run as the head of the table was more than just dominance. It was cinematic, and it was Paul Heyman who gave it narrative. He wasn't just Roman's special counsel. He was the storyteller, the wise man, the man who legitimized Roman, not just with the audience, but inside the kayfabe universe of WWE. Without Heyman, that run wouldn't have felt as mythical. But before all that, there was CM Punk. Back in 2012-2013, Heyman backed Punk during his iconic 434-day reign as WWE Champion. That version of CM Punk wasn't just a loudmouth anti-hero. He was strategic, dangerous, relentless. Heyman gave Punk's chaos a structure. The same man who later endorsed the tribal chief once proudly called Punk the best in the world. And Seth Rollins, he's always been the wild card in the saga. The man who broke up the Shield, the architect who betrayed Roman and helped spark his entire singles run. Rollins and Heyman never had an official alliance, but there's always been tension and curiosity between them. Seth was flirting with the idea of taking Roman's throne, and now with Punk and Roman both in the same match, Seth is the man who might quietly take everything. But now let's fast forward to Raw. In the weeks leading up to WrestleMania 41, the dynamic between these three has been shifted completely. Roman Reigns, for the first time in 5 years, is alone. Jimmy Uso is gone. Solo Sikoa is in a dark place, and the bloodline isn't what it was. And Paul Heyman has chosen to side with Punk at WrestleMania. That's wild. Think about that. Roman has been betrayed by the very man who helped him become the most dominant champion of the modern era. Meanwhile, CM Punk is back. At the Survivor Series, Punk called it a favor from Paul Heyman. We now know that Heyman will be walking Punk to the ring at WrestleMania, not Roman. Punk. That creates a seismic shift, because if Paul Heyman chooses Punk again, it symbolizes a return to chaos, to rebellion, to change. It means that everything Roman built, the legacy, the bloodline, the island of relevancy, was just a season in the career of a man who would always do what's best for himself. Then there's Seth. Seth Rollins has the most emotional grounded run of the three. He's been the world champion. He's been the locker room leader while Roman was running SmackDown and Punk was away from wrestling altogether. He's the only one of the three who didn't have Heyman by his side at any point. And yet there's a strange sense that Seth might actually earn Heyman's respect at WrestleMania. That's what makes this match so crazy. All three men are vying for the same thing. But it's not just about gold anymore, it's about who carries the torch for the next era of WWE. Who gets Heyman's loyalty, who Heyman believes in. And honestly, the way Heyman has been playing this, his acting has been phenomenal. Every week, he's giving you layers, confusion, betrayal, hesitation, curiosity. He's not saying much, but he's saying everything. Whether it's with a head tilt, a glance, or a look of sorrow when he sees Roman walk by him, Heyman is telling the audience he's the most powerful piece on the board. At WrestleMania 41, whoever wins Paul Heyman wins the future. And I think deep down, all three men know it. Karrion Kross is such an interesting case to me. Man, like he literally has the face of the company look, the build, the presence, the voice, the intensity. Everything you'd expect from a top guy in WWE. If we were creating a prototype for a world champion in a video game, Kross would be it. He looks like a main eventer just standing still, and yet he's still struggling to truly connect with the crowd. Even after years on the main roster and the dominant NXT run, and it's not like WWE hasn't tried. He had an incredible entrance with Scarlett, the Gladiator vibe, the Doomsday promos. They gave him mystique and presentation. In NXT, that worked. He was a monster, and this push made sense. But on the main roster, something just hasn't clicked. It's like the audience sees the parts but doesn't feel the full package. He doesn't get booed like the top heel or cheered like the underdog. Most of the time, it's just indifference. And that's the worst spot to be in. You can tell WWE sees something in him. They keep trying to re-hit him, give him views, spotlight moments, but the emotional investment from fans still isn't there. It makes you wonder, is it the booking, the promos, timing? Maybe it's a mix of everything. Maybe people just haven't been given the reason to care beyond how it looks and sounds. There's no hook that brings you into what he fights, what is about beneath the surface, or why you should be invested. But I'll say, I still believe there's a version of Kross that can work. He just needs that one feud, that one real story. Something gritty, personal, and layered to unlock who he truly is beyond the aesthetic. Maybe this thing with AJ Styles and the spark, I'm hoping it finally clicks. Because the potential has always been there, we just haven't felt it yet. Logan Paul has been nothing short of incredible in WWE, and I honestly don't care what anyone says at this point. I get it, the guy has a very controversial past, especially with the Japan incidents that rubbed the whole world the wrong way. The moment is etched into the public reputation, and for a lot of people, it's unforgivable. And I'm not here to tell people how to feel. The backlash was deserved. But I'm looking at his WWE run through a different lens. I'm choosing to separate the performer of the past and give props where it's due. And when it comes to WWE, Logan Paul has earned respect. The man debuted in 2021 at WrestleMania in a tag match with The Miz and has only gotten better every time he stepped in the ring. By SummerSlam 2022, he was already having a legit singles run against The Miz that proved he wasn't just a celebrity guest. He was serious about this. He's since gone toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns, Ricochet, Seth Rollins, and Rey Mysterio, and every time he's either stolen the show or it's been one of the highlights. This isn't just a case of a celebrity dipping in for the spotlight. Logan's athleticism, timing, promo work, and mess psychology have shocked everybody, even his biggest haters. The man gets hits, plays the cocky heel to perfection, and doesn't shy away from real bumps. His second frog splashes through announce tables, sold his ass off for world championships, and made the United States champion feel relevant again. I think what bothers people most is that he's actually good. They expect him to flop or phone it in, but instead, he's delivering premium level performances, and that forces people to separate their feelings. And for some, that's hard to do. His past makes it difficult to root for him, even if he's killing it now. But for me, I've made peace with acknowledging the performer. His past doesn't disappear, and people have every right to hold him accountable for it. But when I watch wrestling, I'm looking at what someone brings to the table in the ring and on that mic. And Logan Paul brings it every single time. So what you want about his YouTube legacy, his controversies, or the fact that he's not from the indies. But in WWE, he's earned the spots. Facts are facts. Let's recap Raw. We finally got that Kota promo we've been needing, and man is putting everyone on notice. He reminded everyone why he's the world champion. Not just because of his inherent dominance, but his presence, his composure, and his conviction on the mic. I really wish he had done promos like this every week leading up to WrestleMania, but I get it. Saving it for now made it hit way more harder. This man is incredible on the mic. Screw what anybody's been saying. People have short memories, but I haven't forgotten how he killed it in NXT UK and has been raising the bar ever since. Honestly, I want Gunther to win, 100%, but I'd be lying if I said it wouldn't feel like a waste if Jey Uso just loses. Jey's earned his place, and this build has made both guys look legit. Gunther is destined to be WWE champion in the future, and it will be well-earned. This match was way more than just one-on-one. Liv Morgan has come such a long way. I used to think she was one of the most overrated women on the roster, and now she's practically leading the Judgment Day. She looks confident, dangerous, and settled in the spots. Plus, Raquel Rodriguez aligning with her low-key saved their career. Bayley, on the other hand, still seems like she's still trying to find the spots again. You can feel it. She's definitely turning on Lara at WrestleMania. It's obvious. We've seen the heel run from her before, so it's nothing new. But credits where it's due. Bayley is always good and she'll make it work. Bayley and Lara are definitely losing at WrestleMania, but I respect that they're giving Lara the spotlights at all. It sucks that the Women's Intercontinental Championship isn't being defended, but I'm not mad. That's how deep the division is right now. Liv and Raquel should hold on to these belts as long as possible. First off, Julius Creed is a physical freak. The guy moves like someone half his size and still brings the raw power. He's gonna be something big, just next time. Rey Mysterio, bro, he's still moving like he's 25. He's a legend and still pulling out bangers. American Made is a cool faction, and with time, they really find their groove. This match was solid and more about the bigger picture. I do wonder though if we'll ever see Rey turn heel, even if it's just once before he retires. It will be a wild twist. That said, the goal here is clearly to put over a grande luchador, and I'm good with that. Rey's done it all. He doesn't need wins. He's just out here putting over the next generation now, and doing it gracefully. It looks like they're trying to insert Kross into the storyline between AJ Styles and Logan Paul, and honestly, that's a smart move. Last week I mentioned how Styles and Logan didn't have much story behind it, but now with Karrion getting involved, they're adding an extra layer that gives it more weight. The match was already going to be solid, just based on talent, but now there's some intrigue. Say what you want about Logan, he's done well in WWE, especially for someone who came in as an outsider. And AJ Styles, still championship worthy at his age, dude is timeless. I think Logan walks out of WrestleMania with the win, but not clean. Kross interferes, setting up a Styles vs Kross feud. And honestly, I hope the feud is finally the one that elevates Kross. It's time, man. We knew this match wasn't ending clean, especially after Judgment Day attacked Braun Breaker backstage. It was just a matter of time before chaos broke out. What makes this feud exciting is the unpredictability. Penta is a rising star. Bella and Dom might clash or even turn each other, and Braun is just dominant as hell. This match at Mania could go in any direction, and that's what makes it fun. Personally, I want Dominic to win, but I was looking forward to seeing his Money in the Bank run before all this. But if I had to pick the best outcome, I'd say Breaker wins. He feels like the next big thing. Still, I wouldn't be shocked if Penta pulled off an upset and shocked the world. The final segment of Raw closed with Seth Rollins standing tall, and it perfectly captured how layered and intense this WrestleMania main event is shaping up to be. This isn't just a match, this is personal history exploding on the bigger stage. You've got three men who genuinely hate each other in character, and possibly even a little bit in reality. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief whose empire is starting to crack. Seth Rollins, the visionary who's always been Roman's equal, but never his priority. CM Punk, the returning icon who's trying to reclaim his throne. And yet, the wild part, Paul Heyman seems to be the real prize here. Somehow, the man who isn't even in the match feels like the glue and the trophy. It feels like Roman, Seth and Punk aren't just fighting to settle their differences, they're fighting to be the chosen one. The man Heyman sides with was the dust settles. And here's the craziest thing, it's starting to look like Seth might actually win Heyman. That would be completely unexpected. Imagine the visuals, Heyman slowly walking over to Rollins after everything is done for Roman. Roman left broken and alone for the first time in 5 years. No bloodline, no titles, no special counsel, just him. Seth, meanwhile, feels like he's on a higher mission right now. Like he's outgrown the tussle chase and is heading towards legacy-defining territory. And Punk is fighting not just to win, but to prove he's still the guy, even after all the time away. No matter how it plays out, this is must-watch storytelling. Every possible outcome feels huge, and whatever happens will 100% be remembered as one of the most important turning points in modern WWE.